going on, everybody? He's starting here in a little over 5 minutes.
Audio, testicles, testicles.
Okay, shorty. Will do.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hello, hello, can you hear this radio? Hello, hello, is this Big Market?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Paranoid. I guess no one's there to answer you, but I'm hearing you.
Oh, Roger, Roger. I didn't know if anybody was out here. Usually somebody's around, but yep. No worries. Check it in here in a few minutes, I guess. Yep.
Yeah, I hear you just fine. Hopefully you're hearing me up that way, okay?
Yeah, I got a pretty good copy on you up here, as usual there, Radio Man.
Yeah, same on this end. Hello. Hello. All right. Fix it. You got a working radio?
I'm not sure.
No, that seems to be working there. Fix it.
All right, Radio Man, I'm just going to holler out and check the delay from live radio to the live feed.
Set your watches. All right, everybody. Is everyone ready to get Maine Sidebanders started here? Okay. Paranoid, what kind of delay were you getting?
Oh, it's probably about 4 seconds, maybe 3 to 4 second delay.
I guess I got to get faster internet here, huh? So it's down to like 1 second. I actually think I can get fiber. I think they came down my road and put it in, but at least at the pole, it's at the pole, you know, it doesn't run all the way up to the house that I'm aware of.
Yeah, a lot of them are putting the Fidium fiber in now. They basically consolidated, but it's fiber back to the main site. They do 1 gig now for about $80 a month for residencies, I think.
10-4. All right, everybody, welcome to Maine Sidebanders. This is our local roll call. We meet every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And no special requirements, just to join. Just have a radio and that we can hear and understand. We'll call you in by county. And so just listen for your county. That way it's not a big pile of people all trying to get in at once. So this week we will start down in the south of the state, and we're going to open it up with anyone for York County for Maine Sidebanders. York County. All right, we'll try real quick. We haven't had any of the guys from New Hampshire in a while. I don't know, maybe some don't have radios to get down here. But how about state of New Hampshire? State of New Hampshire for Maine Sidebanders. Oh, geez, Gonzo, I haven't heard you in a couple weeks. How you been?
Yeah, I've come down here, but it's just been too damn noisy. I couldn't hear you guys.
All right, Gonzo, I got a good copy on you. Your S3 into my striker here in New Gloucester, Gonzo. We're glad to have you from Rochester. Is there anyone else for Maine Sidebanders down in New Hampshire?
I can hear Gonzo from Rochester up here.
Did you copy that, Gonzo? Paranoid's here and you over in Waldoboro up the coast.
Good deal. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Roger on the good deal. Nice to hear you for sure. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Radio Man. Appreciate what you guys do. We'll be back quiet.
Okay, well, there you go. That's a good haul. All the way from Rochester up to Waldoboro. That's Lincoln County. All right, one last call for state of New Hampshire for Maine Sidebanders. All right, nothing heard. Let's jump over to Cumberland County. How about Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders?
Portland's here.
Oh, hello, Greg. How are you doing in Portland this evening? I think I heard you this afternoon, but I was in the mobile. You must have not been able to hear me.
Well, I would have recognized you right away if I heard you.
Okay, well, copy that. Greg in Portland, we got you at S7 here. Anyone else for Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders?
Driver.
And there he is. I don't know if it's necessary, but you're full scale on the striker, 60 dB. So, well, good evening, Screwdriver.
Good evening.
All right, anyone else for Cumberland County, Maine Sidebanders? Not hearing anyone else, we will move on. How about Oxford and Franklin County? How about Oxford and Franklin County for Maine Sidebanders? I heard a little popcorn fart, but that's it.
Relay here. Oxford, Franklin County. Maine Sidebanders. Anybody out there? Oxford, Franklin.
Fix it. Appreciate the relay. And while we're at it, I got you in Oxford at an S7. Fix it.
Roger. Yep, I figured you'd get me, but just to be sure.
No, yeah, appreciate it. Fix it. Got a good copy on you, and I'm guessing you didn't hear anybody. I didn't hear anybody. All right, let's move on to Androscoggin County. How about Androscoggin County?
Swiper here in Auburn.
Hey, Swiper in Auburn. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And
All right, I heard Ginger Swipe there in the background. And got you at S7 right now, Swiper. All right. Who else for Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders?
Wingnut in Auburn.
Holy moly, Wingnut. You're starting to make this a regular thing here. Also got you S7. There was a little Roger beep. Wingnut had a big signal here. And someone try that again. I heard a little Roger beep under Wingnut. Try that again.
207 over here.
All right, we got you 207. We got you an S3 from Minot, 207. All right, who else we got for Maine Sidebanders? Androscoggin County. Androscoggin County.
hey, radio man, can you give me another radio check there? I just wanted to flip the switch there to get a better radio signal.
That brought you up to an S9. Do you want your official signal report amended to S9?
Yes, please.
Hold on a second. We got important business here. We got to amend signal. Did you get nervous or something because Wingnut was the same signal as you?
No, I was just being lazy and didn't feel like reaching behind my chair to flip the switch. Then I asked the wife to do it for me.
Oh man, that's a lot of trust you have there. I mean, she could have activated your ejector seat or something terrible.
Could have been horribly wrong, yep.
All right, another call for Maine Sidebanders, Androscoggin County. All right, not hearing anybody else. Let's go over to Saginaw County. How about Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders?
How about Clearwater, Thompson?
Hey, Clearwater. I got a good copy on you. Also, looks like you're S7, Clearwater.
Yes, thank you very much. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
I appreciate it. You got a cold beverage for tonight, Clearwater?
No, but I'm gnawing on some peanuts.
Whoa, what? No diddy. All right. Anyone else? Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders.
You got Ron checking in on Bowden.
All right. Hey, Runt, come back one more time. I was looking away from the radio. One more time, Runt.
Roger that. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we got you S8. S8 over here. Thank you. Another call for Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders.
Steel toe, Bodenham, waving hand.
Okay, Steel Toe. We got you S7 over there in Bodenham. Sounding good, Steel Toe.
Thank you, sir.
All right, another call. Saginaw County's well represented so far. Another call for Maine Sidebanders. Wow, the romper room up on Channel 6 is really putting some hash and trash down here, huh? All right, let's go. Let's do Kennebec County. How about Kennebec County for Maine Sidebanders?
Sparkplug checking in from South Gardner tonight.
Okay, Sparkplug in South Gardner. All right. Hey, come back one more time, Sparkplug, and I'll look at the S meter here. Yeah, we're gonna call that an S5. The romper room up on channel 6 is putting some crap down on the channel, but you're blinking the S5, so we'll call that an S5, Sparkplug from South Gardner. All right. Another call, Kennebec County, Maine Sidebanders, before we move on. All right. How about Lincoln County? Lincoln County. I know Mr. Paranoid must be out there.
Yeah, roger, Mr. Paranoid, right here in Waldoboro.
All right, Mr. Paranoid. I have you at S5. S5, Mr. Paranoid in Waldoboro. Doing good up there from Lincoln County. Anyone else? Lincoln County, before we move on. All right, we'll do another one. How about Knox and Waldo County? Knox and Waldo County for Maine Sidebanders. I don't know, Paranoid, you want to give a holler for Knox and Waldo County in case no one's hearing me?
How about Knox, Waldo County? Knox or Waldo County? Anybody want to check in for Maine Sidebanders? 389 Northern Maine, 389 Northern Maine. I do hear you, Jim. 389 Northern Maine. Mr. Paranoid here's you in Waldoboro.
I'm actually shocked I heard him.
Roger, 389. I got you pretty good here. Just barely moving my needle, but I can hear you. I don't know. Can you hear him there, Radio Man, directly?
Yeah, I actually heard him direct. 389 Northern Maine, Aroostook County. Copied him direct. He's actually he's down on Memorex here.
Down on the Memorex, he says. I like it.
I don't know if he's hearing me direct, but definitely hearing him.
All right, 389 Jim up there in Northern Maine. Are you hearing Radio Man directly? Do you hear Radio Man directly?
Is she gone?
Well, no response there, Radio Man. I guess nobody else up here, Knox or Waldo County up here. I guess nobody else that I can hear up here in this area. So back over to you, Radio Man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm going to mark that down to go back later, about between 10 after, and we'll call it between 10 after and 8:15 to go look for that. I'll see if I can isolate that clip and maybe put a shorter clip up. That's pretty impressive if he's actually in Aroostook County. He must be he must be in southern Aroostook. I have no idea. But that's pretty impressive. That's who it is. But I definitely heard him. Very interesting. All right. I think we've played out Knox and Waldo. Now now I got to start calling in Aroostook here. I never even bothered. All right. How about Somerset County? Let's jump over to Somerset County. Is Moose in there? All right. Well, let's put a call out for anyone, state of Maine. Anyone that did not get in on roll call, state of Maine.
327 Maine, how you doing? Regina.
Hello, 327. Good evening. How are you? Yeah? Are you running an amp or anything like that?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was too short of a transmission, but maybe you sounded like you were under driving it or something when you first came in there.
Alright, I'll let 23 know.
Yeah, I can understand you all right. It's just I'm getting about an S7 on you, but we got you in there, 327. We'll call it about an S7 for now. Is your grandfather with you? Well, should I mark him down?
No, I can still get him.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. So, it's you. Well, I'm going to do another call here. Is there anyone else anywhere for Maine Sidebanders? Maine Sidebanders. Anywhere that did not make it in a roll call, like to get in?
Yeah, Moose in Somerset County. He was just trying to check in.
Okay, stand by, Paranoid. Someone in New Hampshire covered you up a little bit. Who was the station in New Hampshire?
4102, KC.
Oh, hey, KC. How you doing? KC from Ossipee, New Hampshire. How you doing this evening?
Doing fantastic. Good to hear you.
Okay, copy that. I got you an S4 here on the meter. And Paranoid, go ahead. I heard you. I think you said, or actually, if it's Moose, go ahead, Moose. Give it a shot.
How about you, Radio Man? You got the Moose. The Moose is on the loose.
Yeah, Moose, we got you. S3 over here. Moose in Fairfield, Maine at an S3. Very good. Just curious, Moose, did you hear that? I don't know. Did you hear that exchange with 389 in Aroostook County? Did you copy any of that? I didn't get any of that. There was another station talking at the exact... Try that again, Moose. Try one more time.
That 4102 you were talking to, was that from New Hampshire?
That is correct. That's KC 4102 in Ossipee, New Hampshire.
He was making it to Fairfield. I could hear him.
KC, you copy Moose direct. He's hearing you up in Fairfield.
Yes, I can hear Moose. I hear Moose fine over here in Ossipee. How you doing, Moose?
Moose, KC answered you back.
Heard a little bit of it. I could hear him, but not really clear.
Okay, copy that. There was someone who was under KC. There was someone under Moose who was talking, and I didn't hear who it was. Go ahead to the other station.
Yeah, Jesus, I was up on 36 and 37. That's where it was posted. It was supposed to be on 36, and you guys down here on the 89.
Wow. If someone posted it, it wasn't me. Because I didn't post anything this week. So, must have been somebody else or my evil twin. Good evening, 7.
I'm just bitching, you know what I'm saying? I found you. Waving anyway.
Yeah, we got you, 7, from Chelsea at S4. Good evening.
Talk for the day to you, too.
All right, another call here for Maine Sidebanders. Anyone that didn't get in, come now. Okay, well, we'll call it for there, but as always, anyone that trickles in while I'm still up, I will put you down in the log. And if anyone has anything they want to say or do a radio check, try to call somebody, go ahead. It's have at it. Have fun.
Yeah, it's only going to get better.
It could always, yes, that's a good attitude to have.
Hey, Raymond.
Go ahead, 327 over in Raymond.
It's the, the amp a bad thing? Like, is that low of radio or anything?
I mean, if you're underdriving it, it won't really hurt it. If you overdrive it, that can hurt it. Just for the heck of it, do you know how to turn the amp off? Because that might give us a clue as to what's going on if you turn the amp off. Do you know how to turn it off safely?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, try turning it off and then doing a radio check. See what you sound like.
1, 2, 3. How do I...
Well, your signal definitely went down. I couldn't tell your signal went down that much. I guess you'll have to turn it back on there. What are you running, the QT80?
Not important.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, I don't know much about that radio to be able to coach you on what to do there. I don't even know what you have for an amp.
I'll get 3.3. Yeah, that'll support till...
Okay. All right, well, copy that. All right, everything going good with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. You got a little bit tough over that.
Yeah, just make sure, too, you're talking right into the mic. It sounds like you're trailing off a little bit.
Not better?
Yeah, it sounds better. Like I said, I can't tell, and I don't want to coach you on what to do. But like I said, it sounds like maybe you're. I don't know what some other people think. I don't want to hog it all here, but it sounds like maybe you're underdriving it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with power. Never ever mess with that. Mess with that, you blow up an engine.
All right, yeah. Well, if he gave you instructions, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
Alright, anybody else? Go ahead.
Yeah. Someone key up.
It just sounded to me like he wasn't keeping the mic hidden. You know what I mean? It kept kind of cutting out.
All right, timeout. Fix it. What did you do? You were sounding good when you did the beginning of roll call. Now you're back into scramble mode. You sound like you got your scrambler on. Fix it.
Must have tried to fix it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, not understanding anything you're saying. Fix it. So, I don't know what you've done. Can you switch back to commercial power and get off the power scooter battery or something?
Well, I can go barefoot. How's that?
There you go. Now we can understand you.
Barefoot. 10 watts. That's all.
All right, so tell everyone what in the world were you trying to do that you sounded so terrible?
My battery was low again.
You know, Swiper said you got to get rid of that crappy lead acid battery and get a lithium battery 'cause that's superior technology.
Oh, you gotta go batteryless.
Is that kind of like Bluetooth? Except you go batteryless instead of wireless?
That'll do it too, you know what I mean? More technology.
So when I was driving home, I didn't hear a ton of skip. Did the skip all of a sudden come back? Because when I was looking at the radio, there was all kinds of skip out there. Did it come in? Because like 5 o'clock, there wasn't a ton of it. I mean, there was a little bit, but it seems to be rolling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I got down here at like 7:30 or so, and it was cranking, but yeah, like 6 o'clock on the ride home, I didn't hear much.
That's been weird, generally in the morning, nothing until like mid-afternoon, and then it comes until late at night, yeah.
Around 4 o'clock, I was getting 30 dBs of Mr. Audio. It was weird conditions, you know? I mean, it's kind of like, you know, him up in Aroostook County that just came in. I really think it was just some short skip conditions and then, you know, faded out. But yeah, I mean, I talked to, I didn't know if we were down here tonight, so I like whatever, quarter of. I was hitting California, I was hitting, the Big Islands over in Hawaii, like, there was a bunch of people on, and it was no problem. But an hour before that, there was nothing. Oh, go ahead, QSK. Oh, man, what's going on, Mr. Pipeline out in the mobile? Sounding good over here for sure, man. Oh, man, you don't want me to give you an honest answer then? I don't know as if I would have noticed a difference. I'm not going to lie. I think the signal is pretty damn close to what you normally give me. And, yeah, you sound good. Roger. Well, I guess that mobile's definitely working. Well, I'd put the 102-inch whip up against any antenna up in the air. Like I said, I won't get into antenna stuff. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but yeah, she's definitely cranking, man. I'd put that 102-inch whip right on the roof of the trailer. You know, I don't know if you have a metal roof. Putting a 102-inch whip right in the middle of a metal roof on a trailer is absolutely amazing. I mean, not really. You know, I mean, obviously, depends if you want to stick a magnet to it and drill a hole, but either way, it is a really good big ground plane in the middle of that big counterpoise. And, yeah, you know, sticking a 102-inch whip, nothing off the air, you know, nothing off it, you know, right on it. Does unbelievable things.
Okay, I can't pay it. So we got someone in Machias on Facebook, Ray Williams. Are you hearing any of us in Machias there, Ray? And 210, am on the CB. I am 210. Okay, are you hearing any of us there, James, on Facebook? Yeah, Jim. Okay, so Jim, if you're listening too, I don't know who's still listening. I did get you on the, I'm going to try to pull a clip, but I did get you 389 faint. I don't know if you heard me, but you were definitely talking Mr. Paranoid. It seems like we had some short skip or something because you were there and then you were gone. So let me know if any of you guys, who's still listening on the chat. I can see there's people, but it doesn't tell me who's in there. Faint. Machias, Ray, how do you hear Mr. Paranoid? He's over in Lincoln County. He's a little closer to you. Or, I don't know. Let me go back to the radio.
Yes, I love you too, man. All right, try it again, Pipeline. Let's hear the stock radio. I can hear you, Pipeline, but it would be really hard to have a conversation with you. I didn't make out everything you said. I can hear you. I can tell it's your voice, but it would be really hard to hold a conversation. Yeah, he said it was 14 watts. I could hear him okay.
7, I
Oh yeah, she's definitely working. Alright, then I can really, I'll pay attention to exactly what you're giving me when you get inside.
Yeah, he was running barefoot last night, giving me about the same signal from the base station.
Yeah, it can be hard to judge because I know we're on 37 sometimes, or most of the time, and then you come down here, an antenna matches up differently, you load down your amp differently, so, I try not to base, the signals on the exact same thing from up there to down here, because there definitely can be some changes.
Well, yeah, last night this radio was sounding great on 37, but tonight, not so much.
The radio sounded great, but obviously with the amp on, is your radio hooked to the same batteries? It's funny because I just noticed, you're going to have to wait a few minutes, but your Roger beeps on the transmission before that started to sound a little wonky, and the last two words of that your Roger beeps are almost unintelligible. You can definitely tell, I bet you're down to like 10 volts or something in that battery after you key up for a couple of seconds.
He's fixing it again. Alright,
Yeah.
well, I just stay barefoot then. I go barefoot and I stay right up 12-8.
Yeah, you just hook that damn thing up to a power supply, would you? If you hook that up to a power supply, you would never look back.
Can't you fix it?
What do you have it?
Well, then it wouldn't be...
327, is that your normal radio you're running, or did you say it was a different radio?
No, I said then it wouldn't be a free radio if I hooked it to a power supply. I'd have to pay to run it.
Oh man, I was talking about 327, but yeah, so it costs you $4 a month to run. $4 a month is a whole lot better than us telling you, shut up, stupid. I don't know what we tell you, but I'm telling you it sounds like shit. You know what, I'll donate the $4 a month if that's what needs to happen.
You've been talking to Swiper too much. Shut up, stupid.
He does seem to rub off on people. It's no ditty.
Well, he can't help it. He's big. He has to rub everybody.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, nobody has bought a bidet.
Jesus, stop being such a pusher, man.
Well, I mean, ground wave and skip are two different things, two entirely different things. I mean, I'd have to look on a map, like how Machias. I'm trying to think if we. I'm trying to think. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Let's look at a map here. Yeah, I would think that Moose should be able to hear you, and Wayne. You got Moose in Fairfield. There's Wayne and Carmel. There's John in Belfast. You might even be able to hear some of the guys in Aroostook County. I mean, I would try to, on sideband, if we're talking sideband, 450 watts PEP, or AM 100 watt carrier. They're what is it here? Ray. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised you could hit people in Europe. Have you? Yeah, you might be a little far away from us. me go back to the radio here.
Yelling into the mic on side, and it can definitely do some weird stuff with your audio.
Yeah, if this was my radio, I would be messing around with everything, but this is my grandpa.
Kind of sounds like he's running out of juice. I don't know if he's got a dead battery or something.
Yeah, it actually seemed like it kind of went down a little bit as you talked all that time. Like it sounded good, then it kind of slowly faded out a little.
Turn the high cut filter off.
That shouldn't affect your transmit, but well, I don't know. I don't know the QT, whatever he's running QT80, but on most of any radio that I have that has a high cut, it doesn't affect my transmit.
Power mic is what I was thinking.
Okay, so you got 100 watts. What are you running for an antenna, Ray? Ideally, at 20 feet, yeah, you'd be all right with skip. But on ground wave, you really want to try to get your antenna, the bottom of the antenna, so the base of the antenna up at about 35 to 36 feet minimum. 20 feet, some of your signals being degraded to ground losses. But you should be able to hear some people with 100 watts. Have you tried transmitting at all? I mean, I could tell a few people to hold the air and have you try to transmit, see who can hear you. I could do that for you.
So whip it good.
Yeah, and I bet there's a lot of the time, I mean, granted, the DXU work is a little bit different scenario, but like if you were to be on channel 28 on AM talking DX, I would bet you there's going to be 50% of the time your mobile's going to work better. I mean, that mobile setup is going to be pretty hammering for some DX. I don't know about with the overseas, real slight in there, upper sideband stuff. But I know, the angle of radiation of those and where they set on that low vehicle, it can do some impressive stuff for DX, that's for sure. Yeah, sometimes it's just kind of like the good old V8 cars. There's no replacement for displacement. You can try to do anything you want, but there's nothing like a bigger antenna, and there's nothing like more power. And normally you can hit people with that 100 watts, but sometimes, you really need that 500 or 1,000 to make it happen, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh man, I love my 300 straight six of my Ford. That thing went forever. So that's just tried and true, man. So that's a great setup,
So, what are you using for an antenna? Are you using like a horizontal dipole? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Tell you what, I had I love my 300 in my F-150. It was 89, I believe. That thing was just...
Because if you're using some sort of horizontal dipole, that would make sense. you're getting about 3 dB of loss when you're trying to talk to a local or ground wave, I should say. Horizontal talking to a vertical. We're all vertical. Best thing I could say for talking local is, there's all kinds of antennas out there, but, really you can't beat an IMAX 2000. Get an IMAX, and, most of us, our antennas are at 50 feet, but if you can get the antenna up about 35 feet off the ground, to the bottom of the coax connector, that's what I would recommend for ground wave. But yeah, you'll be able to talk skip all day long on a horizontal dipole. That's totally different. Skip is totally different than ground wave.
Somebody called in a 5-bearing 200 and totally rebuilt. And I'll tell you what it was just hammer and go. Little 3 feet on the column and just jack up to the world. I love that car. Heck yeah, we love some 3 on the tree.
Please suppose you had horsepower out of that thing there, screwdriver.
Never actually got it on a dyno. I did not dyno that engine. I don't know. I truthfully have no idea. But it was impressive. That was when I still had the AMC 10 axle under it, and it was lightweight. Then I put once I put the 1-ton running gear in it, it would no longer pull the front end off the ground. And then I ended up, chunking the transmission, and I put a 406 small block Chevy in it. Then I could pull that I dynoed, and that was 420 horse. So that was just enough to be able to pull the front tires back off the ground. But I was a betting man. I would say it was, in excess a little bit of around that 300 mark, 320. Just by the way it felt and the gearing and what I had to still turn those 40s and to pull the front. The front end, it's a light vehicle, but still, I had 40s on the front, obviously, and it would lift the tires off the ground.
Yeah, people will be surprised when they actually feel what 300 horse plus actually feels like.
Yeah, most of these people that say they have a 300 horse, a stock 350 or, I used to hear all the time, I got a 350 horsepower with 350. I'm like, 1 horsepower per cubic engine. That is hard to do. That is not, you sneeze at, I'm like, your motor came stock with 185, 220. I'm like, you think just throwing a high-rise intake on it and some fucking headers got you that? Even high-rise intake headers and a cam, it's hard to get you that. You need to do some head work, it's a lot. And 300 horse in any vehicle, I don't care what it is, or at least 300 V8 horse. It's a little different when you're talking 300 horse out of a Subaru WRX at like fucking 8,000 RPM. But 300 horse out of a V8 in a smaller vehicle, that's a fun fucking vehicle.
Yeah, mostly because of the torque. But yeah, I had a 350 with 202 heads and a miles cam, and my builder told me he said it probably, and it did have flat top heads, so the compression was a bit higher. But he was like, yeah, it's probably about 300 horse. But I suspect it wasn't quite 300 horse. But it was a lot of fun. That motor was a lot of fun.
I bet it was probably close. The 202 Fuelie heads, them camel hump heads, they float pretty well. So yeah, I bet it was all of 300 horse or give or take. With mild cam and shit. Yeah, the ones that people are like, I got a 500 horse small block. Like, maybe nowadays it's a little easier. But if you're talking just a small block Chevy, a small block Ford, to get a 500 horse fucking 5.0 Ford, that is rough. Now, if you're talking like a dual overhead cam 4.6, newer, technology, yeah, everything, all the port designs and the head designs are all like, computer designed. Everything's perfect. You're talking something from 1962 design. That was somebody on a fucking napkin with a crayon that designed that shit. It was tried and true, it worked, but you know, there's differences.
289, friggin' 3-speed with a 4-barrel. Oh, yeah.
I think they were rated when they first came out, 360 horsepower. And then after 1961, with a cross-ram intake dual quad that set on the front fender, 375 horsepower, and the car could almost achieve 140, 150 miles an hour. The 300G. And 4. Yeah, I heard you with the straight 6. Those are great. But yeah, I mean, but you were also talking back then. What was great, Pipeline, was back in the day. You know, you get old school Hemi or fucking the cross ram and the. I had a 3-deuce setup, a 6-pack setup on mine for a while. It was amazing. But anyway, you were also talking leaded gas. And shit was running 12.5 to 1 compression. So, I mean, you could get crazy power. And when we went to unleaded gas and fucking, 89 octane, now all of a sudden they had to really drop that shit. It wouldn't even run in them old cars. So, yeah, it's harder to compare it back and forth for sure.
It's all about the torque, baby.
Yes, it is.
Bigger is better. What the man says. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Another good inline 6 is a 292 Chevrolet.
Yeah, I don't know much about a lot of straight 6s. Like I built my 258 myself, so I knew about that from the Jeep. And my 300 Ford was, that thing, my father bought the truck brand new and then, gave it to me when he was done with it because it had 350-some odd thousand miles on it. I drove that thing to 480,000 miles with the original clutch in it, 5-speed transmission, original clutch. It would burn so much oil, it was unbelievable. And it started losing power. I mean, it had some serious blow-by. I'm sure them cylinders were, smooth as could be. But I sold it to a guy at work or gave it to him or something, a couple $100. And I know he got over that 500,000-mile mark. I don't think he drove it for long because it had other issues. It started rusting away. But, yeah, I love that truck.
Yeah, back in high school, my first vehicle was a 1963 Falcon Ranch Hero with a 173 speed on the tree. Oil pressure was shit. You go around the corner and you watch your big oil gauge go from 20 to 25, it'll drop to about 18 to 15, and you get back to the straightaway and come back up. And then you first started it up in the morning because I think it was the oil field or something was so bad. All you saw was blue. And I always used to make sure when we were headed out of the parking lot from high school, I was the head one first because everybody was kind of rolling up the windows second gear and just tacking up. I used to have to keep a case of oil in the back of it because I'd have to put a quart of oil in it every day. It was like, check the gas, fill it up with oil. And I got the nickname after a while as Moving Fog Bag.
Moving fog bank, I love it. Yeah, like I said, my Ford, that F-150 was, it would go through a lot of oil. There was always fucking a case of oil behind the seat, screwed about it. And you would just be driving along and go up a hill, and you all of a sudden start hearing the lifters fucking tick, 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 tick. It'd be fucking low on oil. You'd notice it going up a hill. You park on an incline, it would take 4 quarts of oil to reach the dipstick again. You know, so obviously if I checked it more, but I was fucking like 18, 19, I didn't care. But I'm like, yeah, it starts ticking. You dump 4 quarts in, you drive it for another fucking month. And then what do? I'm like, oh, twice a summer, I would just fucking replace the oil filter. I'm like, I didn't do anything else. The oil was gone anyway. I'm like, replace the filter twice a year. It was all good.
The oil of the month.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm not going to say my Subaru wasn't that far off, and this Toyota burns some oil too. You know what's crazy is, I mean, if you look at the specs in a manual for a brand new car, it is not unheard of to burn 1 quart of oil in a brand new car in between oil changes.
Well, that's because the new stuff is junk.
I don't know about that, but you know, it's just common. And even in old cars, like if you look at them, if you would actually read the manual, it has a spec in it for what is normal oil consumption in between oil changes. And I never thought that was a thing. And somebody told me, I'm like, no. And I started looking in old manuals and shit, and every vehicle has what a normal oil consumption is in between oil changes. It's crazy.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, they don't. Man, I got some side draft Webers on my old shovel head. I love those cars. Oh, those are awesome. You know, I believe you have to talk to him about it, but I believe, I'm not saying talk to him about it like he'd sell it. I don't know, but I believe, isn't that what Regal might have an old Falcon? Maybe it was a Fairlane, but one of those old big boats, and he loves that thing. I believe he still has it sitting out back of his house. Yeah, early Novas, but yeah, I don't remember it. It was a Ford. It's something that started with an F. I don't remember. I actually do seem to remember saying it had a 460 in it. So I don't think they put a 460 in the Falcon, so it probably was the big Fairlane. But I don't remember. I've never seen it. I've just heard him talk about it over the last 20 years, and he loved that car. He loves the car. You know, I believe he still has it. Nice.
Dude, when I drive the first car I'm going for is Miata. Is Radio Man still here?
Radio Man, your coax is ringing.
What's the first to get a better?
I guess so.
Clearwater, are you still here?
Go ahead.
How's your radio?
You're still cutting out a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there, but just cutting out just a little bit.
I don't know what.
Alright, screwdriver, I put this thing on I put the radio on a power supply. How's that sound better? Hey, sound good. I don't remember exactly what you gave me before, but are you running the amp again? Yep, the amp's all by itself on the battery now. Alright, I was gonna say, because you definitely give me a good signal. I was thinking, man, that's a big uptick for that, but yeah, I mean, at least if it's not drawing the radio down, maybe the radio won't do anything wonky. It sounds good right there. Yeah, the only problem with hooking to the power supply is I get the AC noise that comes over the wires. It sounds good right now, so I guess the longer you talk, the longer we'll be able to tell. Definitely hearing people come back in. I don't know if the X is starting to roll back in or what.
It's been all over the place today. Holy smokes. I did a couple of video games there. A couple of guys I talked to not so full of the 332 division out of Macedonia. And saw that. So that was pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool. I was on 555 all night long. And then I wake up and I hear people calling for me. I find that fascinating.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're consistent, I mean, people definitely get to, they get to know that you're always out there. That's the first place they're gonna go, and, instead of talking to themselves, there's somebody to call for.
USL, yeah, I had a situation, well, not really a situation, but I was trying to help out some truckers there. There was a situation out on Route 2 there last night where a car was on the side of the road, what they call the half-mile turn, that was just on fire. And so I was letting those guys know, and there was actually a few that paid attention. I was surprised.
Nice, gotta love that.
Man, I cannot wait for a warm-up. This shitty freaking transitional weather, man. Sucks.
When are they gonna turn summer already?
Oh, roger that.
Yeah, we're definitely up for some summer. What's going on, Daddy?
Well, howdy. How's this thing sound?
Oh, you're hammering. Sounds good. Haven't heard you on the radio in the mornings this last week. What the hell?
Well, I'm this thing's working. I'm on the quad 6 right now.
10-4 on the quad 6. Yeah, thing sounds real good.
Yeah, well, I got an amp on it, but I ain't got it on.
And fur.
Break channel.
Yeah, go ahead, break.
Hey, TB505 Maine here with a late check-in if that's possible. I forgot all about it. Too busy working on my hot rod.
You know how it is, 505. You're never too late to check in and have a good time. I know Radio Man, I don't know if he disappeared yet. His coax rang and he disappeared, but we got a couple people to add to his list if he hasn't already hit enter on it.
10-4, appreciate that. You guys have a good one.
How hard were you working on today?
On my Vega, my 74 Vega wagon.
And fur. Geez, almost time to start taking her out and hitting some car events.
Yeah, 10-4. I'm just getting her back running, put in new switches and stuff, and now gonna do some body work on it too.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite thing to do is body work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get it ready for paint, but I got the doors off of it now, so at least I'm gonna do those. But yeah, I'm getting it ready to fire up again, replacing a few things on it. Put in an ignition panel for it, and I gotta change out the water pump and a few odds and ends.
And fur. As long as she'll be good to go for sometime this summer, right?
Yeah, 10-4. I'm gonna get it out this summer for sure. Definitely take it out for sure. Well, you guys have a good one. Thank you. Numbers to you.
Hey, have a good one, man. It's hearing you.
Hey, 621. Yeah. Hey, I finally figured out why I didn't get any spark going through the starter. It would help if you put it in park, right?
Well, those things happen.
Yeah, I was sweating that all winter.
Joe. Yeah, I heard you called me the other night there. I just couldn't get back to you in time, that's all.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Well, my honey wants to go to sleep, so I'm going to have to head out. You guys have a good one.
All right, right back at you. Have a great evening.
You too. Make sure they check
Right back at
TB505 Maine said it. We're out.
Dude, I think Radio Man hit the gate.
No, I'm still here. I just went upstairs for a minute.
Hey, there you are.
Did you fix your radio at all?
No, I fixed it.
Well, when you went, hey, there you are, you sounded a little better, which leads me to believe that maybe you're underdriving that amp a little bit. I don't know if anyone noticed that.
I talked a little bit louder.
Talking a little bit louder does help. I would, that's why I'm wondering if you're underdriving it, because when you get on that mic a little bit and talk a little louder, it cleans right up.
Try again, Screwdriver. You double keyed with him.
Oh, man. Yeah, we did tell him that to keep on the audio makes a difference. And we did have 2 more check-ins while you were away.
Yeah, I copied. I was listening on the live feed, Jim and TB505.
Roger.
Hey, Radio Man, try that again. Screwdriver action.
Yeah, I was just saying I copied everything. I was upstairs just getting a drink. I was listening on the live feed. And, definitely stay right on that mic and speak up. That makes a big difference, being able to understand you.
Yeah, I'll try to have 323 down here next.
Copy that. All right. Well, you got any fun or exciting projects going on over there?
No, not really. I might have to sign off. So you get the stuff.
Sign up. Oh, yeah, it's a school night.
What's up, screwdriver?
It's Swiper here, but are you running a power mic?
Not sure. I don't.
Does it have it?
No, it doesn't. Alright, reading man. Go ahead.
All right, sounds good. Well, maybe sometime this weekend we'll have to get you on the radio and you try to dial some of those settings in. But it definitely seems to make a difference when you get right on the mic there and speak up. So I don't know. Maybe you just need to hit the amp a little harder, or maybe it's just how you're operating the radio. But definitely, when you use that mic, you want to put it right up against your face there, so it's almost touching your mouth. So, but copy that if you have to get going. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I'll try to pitch in on 12 a.m. this morning. I gotta sign off, but it was nice talking to all you guys. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Good. Have a good night.
Yep.
Yeah, towards the end it tailed off. That's why I keep thinking there's a battery that's running out.
Yeah, I don't know, Swiper. I'll have to send his grandfather a message, and I think he's using a QT80, which is basically like a Quad 6 Pro, I think. So I don't know. Like I said, if it's just how he's holding the mic, or maybe the amp is being underdriven a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I'll send his grandfather a message tomorrow.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a dirty key up. The slide switch kind of sounded like that to me. I've heard that before, and that's usually what it is. The microphone needs cleaning.
The microphonium.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Isn't that what the QT80 is? I don't know. Someone will have to correct me. I know it's a QT80. Is the QT80 the same thing as the Quad 6 Pro? Oh, sounds pretty good. I'm hearing you good over here. Yeah, same here. Same here in the Omni. I got a good copy on you. Just looking at the hello. All right. Yeah, just checking stuff on the meter in here.
This morning, I almost thought I heard run, but yeah, I thought I heard run coming across the Portsmouth Bridge this morning.
Oh yeah, the bridge. That's some serious overpass watts right there. The bridge.
I fucking tried, and yeah, nobody could hear me. I was yelling for MU Hawkeye. It seemed like I kind of faded out on somebody's live feed at about Kennebunkport. But when I was coming back from the airport, I was like, oh man, I heard somebody on 12, and I was just getting into New Hampshire, you know, and you're only in New Hampshire for a short distance, but, and I was like, man, I thought, I could have swore I heard him right, actually I think it was right before I came to the bridge. I figured that was some massive overpass watts, and nothing.
Oh, by the way, Shorty said to say hi to everybody. There's another guy, I don't know what his handle is. He just goes by Ray. He's in Machias. And did he I'll be 242, I guess is his numbers. I asked him a couple times. I don't know if he's still listening, but I think he's running a dipole, like a horizontal dipole, and I kept trying to ask him what kind of. I couldn't get a clear answer, but he's in Machias, and he was like, "Geez, I talked to Europe and all these other places. How come I can't reach anybody?" But by the way he's talking, it sounds like he's running like a horizontal wire antenna, like. And I was like, "Wow, if that's what you're running, it's definitely going to hurt you local." And there's another guy that was sending me a message. He goes by 210. He's in Maine. I can't remember where. His first name's James. He was also listening to us on the live feed. So, Novocaine also said hi. Haven't heard from Novocaine in a while. So, just relaying a few messages that came through online.
No, Kane, that must be a Ranger issue.
Oh, man, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say not once in my life have I heard anybody compare a Ranger to a Striker.
It's actually funny on TikTok. Some guy was like, well, what should I get? And I said, honestly, I mean, unless you're going to be on AM only and you're only ever going to use AM, maybe consider a Striker or a Galaxy. But I'm like, if you want to be, Striker's the only radio. It's got the big loud cranking AM audio, and it's got a dict on sideband. I don't know of any, I don't know of any other radio that's as loud on AM, but also as good on sideband. I don't know of any other one. And a bunch of people said the same thing I did. They're like, yeah, it's more money, but it's probably the better radio.
Quad 6 not a bad choice either.
It's not, but this guy's a truck driver, and I said, a Quad 6 a great radio, don't get me wrong, but a Quad 6 does not bark like a Striker.
You're absolutely right there.
Oh, man, he's selling it.
In New Auburn on that Quad 6 Pro.
Oh, man, why would you want to sell that? What's the next new adventure?
I want to try the QT60, believe it or not. I just like the front face, and it's a lot easier to run.
What's the 60?
Well, I think the 80 tone would be just a quad 5N, I think it is, but the Radiolity QT60 there is the same identical radio, and it's just like the QT80 is identical to this quad 6 Pro.
I didn't know they made the Quad 5 version. So, which Quad 5 version is it? Is it the one with the, does it look like the Quad 6 type deal?
No, the Quad 5N looks like it's got the striker gauge on it there with the power and all that. The only problem is, well, not really a problem, but you just can't change the color on it, that's all. I like the green. I always stay for the green look on my Quad 6 Pro here, but I suppose I could go back to cheese yellow.
Roger.
Saw on TikTok today somebody rebuilt one of them Italy 200s with new pills, and he was driving 100 watts PDP into it and getting like 275 out of it, and I was like, yeah, okay, that ain't gonna last long, but okay.
I think that video's making the rounds. I had the same thoughts you did.
Fucking driving. I'm like, hey, you wonder why you're changing out the 4 MOSFETs already. It's like, hello, trying to drive 100 watts into a 203? Come on. Fucking thing's only rated at 100 watts. Sign the fuck up.
So I was thinking, I mean, no wonder you're changing the pills in it. You're trying to drive it with a fucking striker that's swinging to 100 watts.
But I think that guy, too, he fancies himself as some sort of a CB shop, too.
Oh, he builds amps. You know, out of all them people that you say sit around all day long on TikTok, and you're 100% correct, but there's at least 3 of them that fancies themselves as amplifier builders, and yet I've never seen an amplifier built by any of them.
I just, all these fucking videos, all of these builders, I never, ever see the power that they, even 1, 2, 3. What I saw on the video when he was building my amp, I don't see that over here. I don't see that kind of power over here.
Screwdriver, I mean, to each his own, but I looked at a couple of these guys' lives, and I don't even know, like, they're not even talking about radios. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'll be at work on my lunch break, and they're freaking doing a live, and it's not like a radio. There's a couple guys that just stream their radio. These guys are just like got a camera on themselves, like talking about the goddamn Knicks game, and I'm like, fuck sakes, these guys work at all?
A couple of them will stream it and it looks like they're working on their computer or something, but yeah, I know exactly who we're talking about. Well, we've all seen them. There's several of them, but yeah, it's interesting. See, I just looked at that QT60 pipeline, and see, I like the other version of the Quad 5 better. I don't like that version. I consider that looking like the Quad 6 myself.
You got a long horn?
I'm with you. I don't like the looks of the QT, whatever. I don't like the looks of the Quad 6. I don't like the looks of that Quad 5 that looks like that. I like the looks of the Quad 5 that has the LED channel display, and it just looks more CB-ish. I'm not like that Quad 5 and that Quad 6. It looks too meter-ish to me, which is fine. But if I want to run my 100D Yaesu 2-meter rig or whatever, I'll go run it. You know what I mean? I don't know. They didn't look CB-ish to me.
I like my Quad 6, but he ain't nowhere near as pretty as this 955.
Seven says he's got a long horn.
Plus, there's something, I like the looks of that. That's almost kind of, the Quad 5 Plus to me that is a bastard child of a Ranger, a 2950 and a Galaxy. Like, I love the looks of that Quad 5 Plus. And they're like $220 brand new. you know, I kind of want to buy one just because I like the looks of them and they're cheap.
Yeah, those are nice. I like those too. I just, well, there's so many that have had problems. I've kind of steered away from them. They do about, on average, from what I've seen, anywhere from 35 to 40 watts, depending, I guess.
Yeah, that's more than enough out of any radio I've ever owned. I don't even do that much out of any radio I own. So, yeah, you know, if you're basing a radio decision off the power it gets out, that's the wrong thing to base a radio decision on. But yeah, it's just something about the looks of them, like, I don't know, it's like the cross between a Galaxy 88, which to me is the all-time best looking radio you can get, or a Galaxy Pluto, and a 2950. There's just something about it, just the way the push buttons are and the knobs on the bottom, like, it's a classic looking radio to me. Like, I really like the looks of the radio.
Yeah, it is a good looking radio, and yeah, if you can dead key 2 watts and swing to 30 PEP, let your amp do the rest.
Go back to the 40s sort of thing, to give you an idea. And I can't find a heck of a lot of information on them, but I just like the digital look of them there. When you turn it on there, it's not all this backlit. It's more or less that aqua glow you used to see back in the late 80s of digital watches and that sort of thing.
Like, I have been thinking about getting a Quad 6, truthfully, you know, for my car, because I think it will match the interior of my car. I'm not looking for a radio to talk radio on. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, I don't think a Striker is going to match the interior of my car, so I don't want to do it, but I think the Quad 6 will match it. So I might end up buying one of those just because, you know. But the Quad 5 Plus, I like the looks of that radio way better, personally. But I don't think even that would match the interior of my car as much.
Yeah, I just pulled up a picture of a Quad 5.6 there because I didn't know what it looked like. And it is a nice looking radio, I agree with you.
I put one in my truck all day long. I run one here all day long. I don't think the power meter or the receive meter is, I don't know where it's laid out on it, but I don't think that's quite as good looking as some of the other radios, but better looking than a 2950 power meter.
Personally, if I had the bucks behind me, I'd have a President Washington, brand new, all ready to go.
And that is what I've thought about too. I do like the looks of them, and it looks just like a fucking, you know, any Uniden Bearcat 980 series, President George, whatever. Uniden President, same fucking thing, I think. But yeah, you know, like, they look good. I don't know. I would match my interior pretty decent, but for some reason, I don't know why. Just the Quad 6, I think, would kind of match the flow better, but I'm pretty close to saying I want to get the Washington. I'm going to buy a radio this summer. I don't know what yet. Haven't made up my mind, but I told myself I'm going to buy myself a new radio, and I just don't know what I want yet.
You need a suicide knob for your steering wheel, only with the dildo.
Whoa, I don't want to pull it out of my no diddy.
I mean, you are driving a Dodge now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm, you know, every morning Hawkeye sings a Dukes of Hazzard theme to me.
Wife and I went on a golf cart ride, and she's like, "Oh, that's a nice looking truck." I said, "That's a gay guy," and I said, "Gay, not gay, not gay, not gay, gay."
I mean, you're fucking driving around on a golf cart. You really don't have anything to talk about.
What are you talking about? I'm the fucking shit. You should see the wheels and tires we just put on that. driver. We just got new wheels and tires. Oh, fucking lowrider. Fucking 22s and lowrider. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you sent a picture, you little Mexican whore. I still think that needs a 102-inch whip on that back corner, though.
It ain't gonna work. It got no fucking ground plane.
Told you how to remedy that, and it'll work perfectly.
Leave a cord dragging.
You could do that, but I would suggest running it forwards and putting it on the inside of the chassis. But hey, you know, you could leave it dragging if you wanted to.
Yeah, we went for a little ride today, just because we could. It was fucking cold, but we went for a little ride. Yeah, that thing looks fucking sweet now.
It's amazing how different wheels and tires completely change the looks of a vehicle, even a clown car.
Yeah, it really does. You know, same thing with your house. Put a nice fucking roof on your house, completely changes the fucking look of your house.
Yep, you can definitely dress them up, that's for sure.
Gain about 5 miles an hour on the top end.
It takes you an extra 10 minutes to get there.
It does take a bit longer, yeah, and I'm wondering what it's going to be like on the big hills when we go out riding this summer when it's warmer. We go out in the country there, hit some of those big hills. I'm wondering how that's going to happen, how that's going to work out.
Yeah, you probably won't. I mean, I'm sure they'll make it up and off, it's no problem, but you'll probably lose some speed going up those hills for sure.
Yeah, I definitely lost some acceleration. I noticed it. Well, I don't think the wife noticed it, but I definitely did.
Need to get a leaf blower turbo on that thing.
Like driving and not full throttle, I'm sure it's not a big deal at all.
You know, you can get those little cheap turbos off of eBay.
I thought about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, a golf cart with a little turbo spool when you go by.
Because, you know, you don't want to go too fast because, you know, death and all. But getting to that speed, that turbo would help.
Yeah, at speed, those things can get a little sketchy, especially if you start going with bigger tires. I don't mind, holy fuck, the top speed is, I don't even know what it is. I know it gets sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, well, especially with yours. Yours are probably so far out of balance. Like my four-wheeler for that right now. The top speed on that thing is, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Oh yeah, especially, I mean, mine are probably, I don't even know, we're going to say 8-inch wheels, rims on it. So, I mean, it's big balloon tires, so any little bounce will get that thing fucking bouncing up and down, and you feel like it's going to roll over at any instant. Like, it gets sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, but it's not about, I mean, well, the top end, I think we're going to be right where I want to be. You know, 30 miles an hour is going to be about top end for that thing. And, you know, that's with the wind at your back, or maybe a little downhill. But, you know, flat out on the straightaway, I tried it, I got 24 miles an hour on a straightaway with no help from wind or hill. That's perfect for that thing. You go much faster than that, and then, you know, I've seen some fucking videos, and if you look long enough, you'll see a bunch of them too. People going too fast, and they wipe out on that fucking thing. The fucking thing literally comes apart. The golf cart comes apart, never mind whoever's in the fucking thing.
What? You mean those things aren't crash test rated?
Oh no, it's ugly.
Roll cage? Fuck me.
Yeah, Florida, I guess Florida, pretty much statewide, they fucking let them drive around. And there's a lot of Florida videos of them fucking, like they're going down the road behind a car that's videoing, and the fucking front wheel fall right off. Because it wasn't fucking safe for the road to begin with. Front wheel come off, and it's catastrophic. I mean, the whole fucking thing comes apart.
I got a friend, his parents live in one of those like over 55 communities down there, and he says they drive them everywhere. The grocery store, they just drive them all over town down there.
I have actually recently found out that you can actually register them in Maine. It's called a slow motor vehicle or low speed motor. That's what it is. Low speed motor vehicle. Put a fucking plate right on it. I gotta get brake lights and blinkers and an odometer and a horn.
Yeah, you need a train horn.
Oh, if I'm gonna put a horn on it, I'm gonna put two horns. One train horn and one meep meep.
I saw a video down in Florida, and it was one of these like over 55. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They were having some sort of parade with these things, and the old people were having like, they were doing like chicken, and they had those big JBL like they're huge speakers. They're like Bluetooth. I think they call them like a party speaker. And these friggin' golf carts are all decked out with flags, and they were doing this weird thing where they were doing like chicken, and they'd break off at the last minute. Well, I guess when they did the pre-plan, and when the guy says, you go left, I go right, well, they both went left, and they hit head on. It was just like you said, Swiper. The golf carts broke into a million pieces.
I think I might have saw that one too. I didn't know it was a planned event. I just thought they were both idiots, and they fucking head on. Maybe I'm thinking of a different video, but yeah, they just come right apart. At high speeds, they're not designed for an accident. They're golf carts. They're designed for a soft landing.
I know up at Epic Camp, I noticed, I don't know, a couple of years after I bought the property, I would see side-by-sides all over town, like at the grocery store, like driving down the road. And I said something to my friend who lives up there, and he's like, yeah, the cops won't bother you. Like, they did something in town where, like, the tarred roads are considered, like, okay for ATVs. You just have to stay to the right. And he's like, yeah, the cops won't bother you. I was like, really? And I did take my four-wheeler into town. You drive right by the cops, and they just wave at you and smile.
Yeah, I think in Maine they call dual-purpose roads.
Yeah, they said it because there is ATV trails up there, and they said they did it so that they could access the trails because the trails wouldn't actually connect through the woods, but they wanted to, like, I don't know, I think it's like, they're trying to cater, like tourism kind of type thing, and they're trying to encourage people to come up there and ride their four-wheelers, but I don't know. I mean, I do it up there. I run my four-wheeler around town. No one bothers me. He says, as long as you're not driving like an asshole, they won't bother you.
Yeah, that's similar to like Sumner. Screwjob will tell you more about it. There are a bunch of roads up there that are dual purpose, and then there's some that not, and the game warden will get you.
Those same roads that we got busted on several years ago, those are all the way, like, I could leave the driveway and take the road all the way up to the salt mines now and go further. Like, all of that road up there, I see more if I'm up there on my, in my car or truck or whatever. I see more side-by-sides than I see of any normal vehicle.
Man, when I think about the shit we were fucking blasting down those roads, fucking 60 miles an hour. Oh my God. On the fucking dirt path there too. Oh yeah. Those were good times, but that's fucking crazy shit.
Oh, it ain't that bad.
I wouldn't do it with the tires I have now, I'll tell you that right now. Shake the shit right out of you.
Yeah, well, I've heard you're a little full of it, so it might be good for you.
Yeah, but it shakes the shit out of you now. Just sit on a bidet.
Gotta get one out of camp.
Actually, like I said the other week, last week, that is 100% where I'm more. I think it will be more handy than any other place.
Do you have messy dumps at camp?
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? You drank a bunch of Jaeger, whatever the situation was. It's already fucking like sticky up there. You got sand in your vagina already to begin with from coming back four-wheeling. I mean, come on, how much fresher can you get than having some spray inside your bottom?
Don't lie, you want that one that Hawkeye sent that does the Mountain Dew.
I think I do.
Yeah. Oh, what was that swipe right keyed with you?
Yeah, have you ordered yours yet?
No, I haven't. I'm fucking, I keep forgetting. I'm lazy.
What the fuck?
You guys ever get I got a Charlie horse on the underside of my thigh, and like I thought I was gonna die. Oh my God.
Come on, Radio Man, you gotta get one too. I need some backup here.
I'm kind of like Screwdriver. Like I'm not opposed to it. It just hasn't been high on my priority list.
Fucking $20. Get off the fucking shit or get off the pot.
Wow, he's being mean.
Stop picking on me.
No, I'm never mean. Not me.
Oh, yeah? Radio Man, are you ready for bed yet?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been. I don't want to say a rough week at work, but you know, just it was a little hectic.
I hear you. I am still going to be very late because I was up at 3 this morning to bring somebody down to Boston for the airport, so I had a lot of driving today.
I had my boss walking around with me all week, Radio Man. So I've had a rough week too.
Southern Utah break.
Sucks when you have your boss walking around with you. Holy crap, I heard of Utah. Yeah, no bueno with the bosso.
All week. All day, all week. And she's not an enjoyable person. She's got fucking pink hair, if that tells you anything. It's like a poisonous frog.
Yeah. By the way, we heard that station in southern Utah.
I don't mean to jump in, you guys. QSO just heard you out there. You're the only ones I heard, so I thought I'd give you a yell. 171 Southern Utah waving.
Sound like a local there, 171.
Copy that. Thanks for the flowers. Keep some for yourself. You guys are sounding real good. But, hey, I'll let you get back to your QSO there and just want to wave a hand. 171 clear.
Hey, 171, no problem. We do this every Thursday. We're the Maine Sidebanders here. Just a local roll call. It's kind of the tail end of the evening for us here. If you're on Facebook, feel free to check us out. You can look up Maine Sidebanders. We actually got a live feed going up there right now. You'll hear yourself. And or you could check out Maine CB on Facebook. But anyways, yeah, you don't have to bail, man. You can hang out, interject comments. That's all we do.
QSL. I'll look it up right now. I do all the Facebook stuff, and yeah, I do a lot of interactions, but that's interesting. You guys are the only ones I hear, and I was all the way up pushing 10 meter.
Isn't that weird how that works sometimes, huh? It's crazy freaking conditions, I'll tell you what.
I don't know if you guys had seen back there those things you can stick in your windshield and you know roll out the messages, you know, like fuck you or eyeballs or I don't know. I think that's one of those things I plan on putting in the rear window and advertising the Thursday night thing we do.
I thought about doing the same thing. I saw one of those the other day when I was going to work.
That conversation was going to be good. But you know, if you're gonna advertise Maine Sidebanders, it's okay now. It's not like good. It's just good.
What was gay about that? I don't get that.
Fucking having writing scrolling across your windshield or telling people fuck you from your vehicle. I don't know. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's how they advertise it. You know, they have, you know, messages on the fucking windshield. Most of them, you know, you've seen the fucking TikToks. Don't even pretend you haven't seen the TikToks. They have the fucking eyeballs, and you could put a message or whatever. I was just using that as, you know, hyperbole. All I'm just saying is, I bought one of them, and I was planning on putting it in my rear window and advertising the Thursday night sideband night. You don't have to be a fucking dick about it. Go over there. I'm gonna go over there and kick you right in the fucking sack.
Oh, dude, they got one now that waves. It gives you the finger and the thumbs up. Perfect. And it's freaking amber free. Oh, it's nice. Battery operated, so it doesn't come over your radio. Perfect.
Nice.
A fucking dildo for you.
Fucking dick. You're such an asshole. You're just like me.
I know. I knew you'd love it. No, I mean, they you know, the googly eyes and that kind of shit. I'm like, that's a little fucking gay for me. But you know, I'm like advertising something cool. I'm all about it. You know, have one in your back window that you can select a couple different messages to say, you know, channel 37 lower sideband or channel 12 AM. I'm like, that's kind of cool if you're going on like a road trip or something.
Yeah, I got the Maine Sidebanders sticker in the window, you know, and I figured when I saw that thing, I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. I'll put that in the back window and advertise lower sideband Thursday night, channel 37 lower sideband Thursday night, Maine Sidebanders, don't miss it, you know, something like that, you know, a scroll.
You're gonna have to do something cool for like some other days though, like change it up every day and be like, you know, dirty butt, question mark, get up a day.
The only thing that, you know, putting that thing in my window, I definitely gotta have the fucking antenna on my roof, which means every time I go through the car wash, I gotta take it off and put it right back on, even if I'm not planning on keying the radio up.
Yeah, no taking the antenna off. Leave it on.
Yeah, those 171 have a good one, man. Hearing.
Hey, 171, just went over to the quad antenna. How do you copy?
Ohio? I think it was, maybe?
Oh, I thought it was the guy in Utah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it was a four-letter fucking state that started with a vowel. And then it was Utah. It was lower Utah. I'm lower retarded tonight. Leave me alone. It happens a lot. You're not wrong.
How about that 171 Utah? 171 Utah. You copy radio, man?
Yeah, up on the radio, man.
Line out 171.
Oh,
I think the conditions might have come and gone that quickly.
can barely hear radio, man, now.
Oh, I went over to the horizontal side and pointed southwest. He did find us on Maine CB, so but maybe the conditions faded out like you guys said, but you should be hearing me good now. I'm back on the stick.
Boy, it's amazing how much you shut yourself down over this way.
Oh yeah, there's been times I've been up on 28 and they're talking up on 28 like local up where you guys are, and I don't even think they know I'm shooting skip.
Radio man.
Yes, go ahead, 7.
353 texted in earlier this evening and let you know that he wanted to check in from Texas.
Oh, okay, 353. All right.
I still think we do, maybe do some breakfast this weekend. I think Magoo might have brought that up, and that sounds like a damn good idea. But, you know, I like the idea of, I don't know, I hate saying contesting, and I hate, you know, that kind of shit. But, you know, maybe doing like a live event where a bunch of people are on, you know, 3738, and we just try to make as many live contacts as we can. 'Cause I do think that would be fun as fuck.
Well, it's kind of good that somebody like you, I don't know, some people have problems with it, but I don't. But like you, Screwdriver, you keep it going, and so does the radio man. And it's just nice to hear different people from different places. Like, wow, you know what I mean? I like it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it'd be kind of fun, you know. Pipeline, he definitely is in. You know, everybody does a live feed, and, you know, it wouldn't be like holding any serious conversation. We're going to say, like, oh, for an hour between 1 and 2 or something, whatever. And just see how many people you can log. And not in a log. Like, I'm not a big writing shit down. I'm not a big, you know, I'm not here to try to prove anything, or I don't care, you know, and I get bored too quickly. I couldn't do like a half a day event, but, you know, if it was, let's see how many numbers that I can make 100%, you know, contact back and forth in an hour, I think that would be kind of fun.
Absolutely, and I've noticed in the last month or so, it's gotten a lot better. People will be patient and let people check in and stuff. It's been pretty good, actually.
Yeah, we definitely have some times where it gets a little rough and tough out here, but, yeah. You know, some weeks are better than others.
Especially when the skip's been in there. Like, I thought it was on 36, and I heard you on 37. I come back, but it was crazy up there. And then I come down here, yep.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I didn't know where we were tonight, if we're down here or up there. I turned it on real quick, and like I said, I heard some Hawaii in there. If I'm here in Hawaii, I gotta at least yell out. I love talking to Hawaii, and I don't know why. It's just one of those, Hawaii, Alaska is one of those oddballs where it's like, yeah, that's kind of fun, kind of cool.
It's been weird how skips been coming in lately, because I've been paying attention to it more, but it doesn't come in the morning till late afternoon, and it peters out, and it comes straight back in.
Yeah, even our Puerto Ricans in the morning that are going in when we're on our way into work hasn't been quite as bad.
Yeah, Screwdriver, if you guys do breakfast, I'm working Saturday, so if, you know, whatever guy, if you, I would go, but if you do it Saturday, I won't be able to go.
Yeah, you and your fucking work. See how you are? Yeah, I was thinking, you know, I don't know. Mr. Magoo mentioned it, and he hasn't said anything else, but, yeah, I mean, I'm all for, like, Sunday morning at, like, 8 or something. Sounds like a damn good idea to me, but I don't have anything in specific going on for this weekend.
Yeah, I know, the work thing. I'm just taking advantage of some opportunity it's being offered for a little. I don't know how long. I was just talking to my wife about it. I'm like, I'm not going to be doing it, right through the whole year, especially once the real nice weather gets here on the weekends. But right now it's still kind of shitty, so I don't mind doing it, but I will be doing it this weekend. And the only thing I would add was, I know what you mean. I think it would be fun to do something like that on a weekend. Not so much so a contest, but like it'd almost be like an on-air advertising event. Like, yeah, we do local radio up here, and this is who we are, and just tell people to get out there and just mention Maine Sidebanders. It'd probably be fun to do something like that and have people live stream it. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could do something too, like I know you said like you're not into having people write stuff down, but maybe we could come up with some sort of award, like a golden bidet or something for somebody.
Oh, the golden shower, here we come.
Hey, I got something.
Uh-oh, go ahead, Swiper.
It'd be cool to be like, and I would definitely write stuff down. Like, I actually have an issue with talking Skip. I forget who I was talking to real quick, so I would have to write it down. But it would be kind of cool to keep a log and just say, oh, in an hour we had, 135 contacts, and here are the numbers in the state. Don't get any like crazier than that. Just the number in the state, nice and easy, done. And yeah, I mean, it would be kind of cool. And yeah, get it out there. I mean, obviously you always hear like the needle benders and the taco benders, and we're not a club like that where we have these special numbers and wannabe stuff, whatever. But it's just kind of cool for people like, oh, because I hear a lot of people that will get on my TikTok or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, Maine Sidebanders. I've hit you a few times and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool,
I got something to change the subject here if you guys want to listen for a minute.
You're fucking right. Let's hear it.
We are getting a new bedroom set and a new dining room set, and I have a big dining room table with like 6 chairs, all in really good condition, and like 2 stand-up dressers, 2 bedroom dressers, the tall type ones, and 1 wide one with a big mirror, and they're up for grabs. They're free, and they're all in fairly good condition as far as looks go. They're not perfect, but they're all in good condition and free for anybody who's interested.
Well, there you go. I hope everyone copied that.
I mean, I could post some pictures on our local talk, and you guys can spread the word or send pictures to whoever you like.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure someone trying to outfit a house or an apartment might be looking for something like that.
The dining room table is definitely, you need a dining room. It's not a kitchen table, it's a dining room table.
He's a big one, huh?
Oh yeah. 6 chairs.
I was just talking about this today, like our little kitchen table. I'm like, the guys at work, not even my wife, because I'm thinking I almost want to rearrange my living room, my upstairs living quarters. I always like rearranging shit once every year or two just to change it up. But I'm like, our kitchen table, not a big table. We only have like 2 chairs or 3 chairs now. But I'm like, we've never sat at it here to eat. I'm like, why do we even have this thing? I'm like, we haven't used it once. My wife will use it to a puzzle on every once in a while. Other than that, it's useless.
Legos are not for sale.
What? The Legos aren't for sale. Son of a. Swiper in the background in the picture. I was like, oh god, I hope he's wearing shorts under that t-shirt. Gonna be shirt cocking it like Pooh Bear.
Straight up shirt cocking it, he says.
It don't show nothing.
I like he had to go look like, wait a second.
That is underwear.
I know, but I made you look though. You were like, oh shit, am I hanging out?
Yeah, I've already sent that picture. Thankfully, I always wear black pants, so nobody will know the difference.
I mean, the table looks nice.
It is nice. It's too nice. That's why we're getting rid of it. We're not allowed to touch the fucking thing.
Yeah, we have a big dining room table, and I can add. It's pretty. I mean, for like my mom, my wife, and my daughter, it's plenty big. But I have 2 leafs you can add to it. But usually at Thanksgiving or Christmas, like my wife's family comes over, and her brother and his family, and then my family's here. So I'd say like twice a year I end up putting 2 leafs in the table. We have quite a few people at the table, but you know, the rest of the year, aside from Christmas and Thanksgiving, the 2 leafs are in storage down here in the basement, and the table's, you know, shrunk up to the smaller size.
Yeah, and that table actually we have a leaf that goes with it. Makes it even bigger. Actually gives you the room for the 6 chairs. But, yeah, we don't want it. We're going to something that will be touchable and doesn't have to be shined up. We don't like the shininess of that thing, and you can't put a fucking hand on it without leaving a fucking handprint on it. Yeah, the wife doesn't. It's like you can't even walk through there with a. Don't touch that fucking table. But I mean, whatever. It is a nice dining room table. When we do have large amounts of people here, you know, it is handy. Yeah. It's not a kitchen table. It's a dining room table. Anyway, it'll be on the fucking sidewalk if nobody takes it. I would prefer somebody out here gets it who wants it than to just throw it on the fucking sidewalk. Because it'll disappear in a weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, geez, I'm all set for myself, but I'm trying to think if I don't know. I'm trying to think if I know anybody that's looking for something like that.
Well, that's why I'm putting it out there. If you don't need it, share it with somebody you might think needs it, or family and relatives and stuff, friends and whatever. Share it. It's free.
It's the best kind.
The bureaus too. You know, somebody needs a dresser or a bureau, let them know.
Copy. All right, guys, I'm going to shut it down, call it a night. I am pretty tired, and so I'm going to head out of here. You guys have a good evening, good talking to everybody, but I'm going to shut her down.
Hey, have a good one. I think I'm going to do the same thing, and I gotta head up to Waterville tomorrow to go to that plant, so I'll probably only have about a 2-minute radio tomorrow morning for you.
Copy that. I'm in the process of spinning the quad back into the resting position here.
Roger. Hey, have a good one, Swiper. And, yes, we'll see if we want to do breakfast on Sunday or something. We'll see what's up.
All right, everyone that's still listening on YouTube and Facebook, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys checking into Maine Sidebanders and supporting us. So we'll be back next week and probably do some live streams this weekend, but I'm going to shut her down here.
Yes, holy fuck, look, everybody's coming out of the woodwork. I might have to get a little pipeline to buy a radio off them. And Taz, good evening. And, yes.